Chapter 33 War Part 2. Vincent looked up at the hill when he heard Grayson yelled. And true to Grayson's words, the Queen and King of the White Wolf Pack and Black Wolf Pack was there. Then Vincent narrowed his wolf eyes when he smelt something familiar. He used his enhanced eyes to look for anything, then right there he saw a smaller, dirty blonde wolf just a few steps behind the King of the Black Wolf Pack, and another pale gray wolf behind the Queen of the White Wolf Pack. Vincent yipped and ran towards Grayson. Vincent nudged Grayson's leg when he reached to get his attention.
It's Samantha.
Grayson frowned at Vincent.
Sam? But she's with...
Grayson trailed off as his eyes widened. Realization hit him. He looked up just as the King of the Black Wolf Pack shifted back. Another black wolf walked up and shielded his nudity. The king wasn't big and tall, not at all. He was small, smaller than most men, and his face was feminine. His sharp cat-like eyes complement his Asian features, and his hair was fiery red. Even though he was small, he had an aura surrounding him that makes people think twice before messing with him.
Ah, King Shu. What a pleasant surprise.
King Eadric yelled. King Shu's cat-like eyes turned to King Eadric and narrowed even further.
Drop your act. I know it is you who sent that attack.
It was said with an accented English, but the message was thorough and clear. He glanced at the Queen of the White Wolf Pack.
To both mine and Queen Yukio's pack.
King Shu then turned and looked at Grayson with kind and grateful eyes.
If it wasn't for King Grayson's help, our pack would have suffered greatly.
King Eadric glared at King Shu before turning his attention to Grayson.
You foiled my plan.
Grayson smirked.
Great to know that. I took great pride at that.
King Eadric growled. With that, King Shu shifted back and howled. Growls and howls sounded behind the king and queens as they all raced down. Dozens and dozens of wolves charged towards the battlefield, all a mixture from White Wolf Pack, Black Wolf Pack, and the rest of the Red Wolf Pack that was sent to aid the former two packs.
Charge!
Grayson yelled, and two shifted back into his wolf form and joined the fight. Queen Mina shot an arrow up the sky. When it was high enough, Queen Mina twirled her hand and the arrow burst and exploded like a firework. Catching the attention of who she wanted, Ryu roared and flew towards her. When Ryu was close enough, he nudged his gigantic snout against her cheeks. Queen Mina smiled and patted the said snout. After the small reunion, Ryu huffed and lowered his head. Queen Mina grabbed onto one of his horns and climbed onto his neck. When Queen Mina was secured, Ryu flew up before he charged down towards where most of the enemies were. Queen Mina's eyes glowed turquoise, and turquoise aura surrounded her as her weapons flowed around her. When they were close enough, her weapons, which consist of small daggers, arrow, shurikens, showered the enemies. But it doesn't stop at one victim. After one enemy was down, the said weapon that killed that enemy will release itself from the enemy's corpse and attack another one, all the while glowing turquoise. King Grayson growled when he saw his hybrids are decreasing in numbers fast. He turned to Anelia and growled,
"Send more, Anelia. More."
Anelia gritted her teeth but nodded nevertheless. Her eyes glowed red as her brows furrowed in concentration, sweat dripping down her face, pulling at her collar as dozen and dozen more malfunction hybrids ran past her and towards the battlefield under her command. Ryu's dagger was dancing around her as she kept throwing them non-stop at the enemies. It became a dance for her. Throw, dodge, punch, catch, and repeat. She dodged as stray ice, fire, and plants strike the enemies around her viciously. Bethany doesn't know where all her families are and are getting worried. The enemies just keeps getting larger and larger. Even with the help of the white and black wolf packs, the enemy's not decreasing with how the malfunction hybrids keeps coming, and they are much worse than the vampires and enemy wolves. A vampire or werewolf is already an enhanced being, making them faster and stronger. But the malfunction hybrids are twice as strong, and one malfunction hybrid is like fighting two vampires and two werewolves at the same time. As strong as they are, they can't hold on to that kind of force. They need more help. Bethany breathed heavily after she stabbed another enemy. Her muscle was straining and she doesn't have much energy left. She took a look around her and she can't help but looked on helplessly. The enemy vampires and werewolf are slowly decreasing in numbers, but the malfunction hybrids balanced that out. They just kept coming and they're too strong. They had not only killed Bethany's allies, they also killed their own ones, just because they were in the way. This have to stop. Bethany reached inside her pocket and grabbed onto the pendant that was pulsing warmly. Just when she was about to pull it out, a loud howl could be heard. From afar, King Eadric laughed maniacally.
"You're all done for. My reinforcement has arrived and you'll all die."
From another hill away from King Eadric, a gold wolf padded closer to the edge.
"Zakai, my son."
King Eadric yelled as he looked at his son with manic eyes. Another gold wolf padded towards him and shielded Zakai as he shifted back to his human form.
Enough of this madness, father. Your plan will never work.
King Eadric looked taken aback before his eyes narrowed in anger and growled.
What? Forfeit. Forfeit now and let this idea go. You won't win. Father. Enough nonsense, Zakai. Join me or die like those pathetic weaklings.
Zakai stood his ground, and he stood straighter and firmer.
No, father. You're the weakling here, worrying that you'll be dethroned.
King Eadric laughed.
Me? A weakling?
King Eadric cackled loudly and maniacally. Then he sobered up and snarled.
No. You want to die together with the weakling, so be it.
Prince Zakai looked solemn before his face hardened.
No, father. If anyone's dying tonight, it'll be you.
Then, slowly, wolves and wolves started approaching Zakai, and soon there was more than 10 dozens of wolves surrounding Prince Zakai.
With you absent, the council had deemed me, Prince Zakai, as king of the Golden Wolf Pack.
King Eadric laughed maniacally after hearing Zakai's declare.
The council have no power now. I'm absolute. What I say goes.
Prince Zakai smiled.
Yes, the council does not have much control over power, but the pack have, and they have spoken. They choose me instead of you. You already lost one fight.
King Eadric growled and shifted into his wolf form, finally joining the fight. Prince Zakai shifted back, and they all ran straight towards the battlefield.